Welcome back, everybody, to the Kinda Athletic Podcast. I'm Sam.
Kellen.
Perfect. So this is week 11. So we're getting going. So this week we're going to talk about a couple different sports, but mainly the MLB. But we're going to start with the hydroplane season is starting this week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Kellen's excited, of course.
Very excited. Should be a good season, hopefully.
Yep, I hope so. And I'm learning, so we're getting better. But
Yes.
After that, we're just going to look at kind of what we predicted for the MLB awards and kind of who is actually leading it. And then just talk a little bit about the Mariners. It's been kind of a rough couple series, so we'll just address that a little bit. Cover the NHL. Just game 7 is here in like half an hour, so we'll see
should be
what
fun.
goes on there.
Yeah, will be fun.
And then we're going to talk about a couple suspensions in MLB. I think it's Orelvis Martinez and Edwin Diaz were both suspended 2-ish days ago.
Idiots.
And then speaking about that, we're just going to talk about just steroid usage in general in baseball. We'll talk a little bit more about that and go in depth as far as that goes. And then, of course, just ending every week with a verse and a Christian athlete spotlight. But like I said, we're going to start this week with the hydroplane season starting in Guntersville, Alabama.
Way to pronounce that. A lot of people say Guntersville.
Yeah,
that's exciting. Well, I like to hear your thoughts first, just because you're new to the sport. You're still learning. It's very fresh. For a lot of people that don't know, there are only 6 boats going down there, I believe.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. Yeah, 6. Yep. You're
right. So 5 of them are all from the Pacific Northwest, which is very normal. We do tend to have the most boats out here. And then
the Miss Apollo?
The U-27 is from Alabama, which is kind of the shocking news.
Okay.
Because they just have rebuilt their whole boat after like 3 years.
Well, he's not new, but new to this season.
This will be his 2nd year running ever. Okay. The first year he ran, and I want to say the boat flipped in Tri-Cities and was destroyed. And the owner group of them, Wiggins, I can't think of his first name. It's not Andrew, because that's a basketball player.
Yeah, it's just Wiggins Racing. But
he was not, he's like got money, but he's not like loaded money. Because a lot of these guys, like the 91, the Goodman is real estate. They own tons of buildings in like Bellevue, Washington, which if you don't know, very wealthy area.
Yeah.
So they've just been rebuilding really slowly, and now they're this will be the first time they've had the boat on the water. Okay. So let's hear what you think, what you might think of anything. And
what I learned just about this race in general, I'm not sure if I'm going to get the exact dates right, but I think it was in 1963 is when they started, and they ran for about 5 or 6 years.
Yep, something like that.
I think it was till 69, and they didn't go back until I think 2018.
Yep, sounds right.
Been a while. Obviously, it's more recent that they came back, but just kind of cool that they brought this race back, just because I think the sport is not as popular as it once was. So adding stuff into it always helps. But what was cool was last season I was looking, and it said Dustin Eccles ran the 5th fastest qualifying lap ever.
Yep.
At this course, it was 171.3 if you round up. So pretty cool. But I thought that was just the one thing that I noticed. And I was looking at the schedule of events, and it is wild because it's not only just the Unlimited series that's running.
Oh, the schedule for it all.
I think it's 3 total tiers of racing.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
But so it's a packed weekend. Yeah, but you have it pulled up.
Yeah, this is very funny because I look at this, you're like, this is packed. This is so normal.
Yeah, that's what
I can read this. Like, oh yeah, that's about right. That looks normal.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That was I picked who I think is gonna win.
Who do you think?
I just went with Dustin Eccles. I was like,
okay,
he's already done well at the try. Maybe not raced well, but he qualified well. So it's like maybe a year after he's qualified well, he knows the racing environment a little bit better.
Sure.
I don't know. I wore my NASCAR hat for this.
Yeah, he's
getting in the racing spirit. So
something like that.
Gotta make sure I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So this race is a 2.5 mile lap race, and they used to have it like this, where it's like a paperclip, I guess you could call it. And then last year they kind of I knew you were gonna say that. And then last year they kind of squeezed it and made it more round. And so that's where the speed all came, because there's less, like in Tri-Cities, you have a river and you have this much room and you have to race. Like you don't have you can't widen it. You can't widen the river. Guntersville is a big lake, and they decided to try to squeeze it a little tighter to make it faster.
Oh, interesting.
Which Eccles proved last year. So Eccles is not a bad pick. He has a really good boat. He can obviously run it super, super fast.
Yeah.
When he gets into the racing, it just kind of is not there. It's kind of weird. But I think it'll be a good race week. And I think the boats that are all going down there, you have the 2 Beacon boats, J. Michael Kelly and Corey Peabody. Peabody won it last year, I believe. It might have been J. Michael Kelly, but I think it was Peabody. Peabody had the fastest average lap speed. I don't know if he won or not. Yeah, but it's hard to remember all these things just because they go in and they're so quick and it's hard. I think it actually might have been. I know the Beacon teams won every single race last year. I can pull it up right here on the results. But anyway, J. Michael Kelly. Was it J. Michael? That would not surprise me if that's what it was. Actually, I think that was just the overall winner. J. Michael Kelly did win the whole high points. But yeah. So anyway, I think now I'm thinking about it might have been J. Mike. I have it right here though now, so I just gotta find the finals. Boop, 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 boop. If it wants to give me, never mind, it's gonna freak out. That's fine. This is H1 for you. So I think both the Beacon boats are really good. I think the U11 still kind of like that lower tier, but they've just gotten better and better every year. So I'm very intrigued to see where they are gonna go with it. And then obviously you said you have the 40, really fast boat. The 91 with Andrew Tate's probably the best driver on the circuit with the newest boat, technically, I guess, besides the 27. Then the 27, you bring back Dave Villwock, who's the most... Yeah. He's got everything. He's won it all. He's done it all. He is the guy when it comes to boat racing. So I know some people are pretty excited to have him back. I know some people are very like, this is not good for this sport. Yeah. Well, there's like, it's not good for the sport. It doesn't, bringing a guy he's 70-something years old almost. Mm-hmm. That's not going to grow the sport. So there's kind of a mixed feeling about it, but I think it'll be interesting. I do think it's going to be good races. The track is fast, so we'll be interested. I personally picked. I think I picked technically the 91. I picked Tate to win the weekend in hindsight with the most points, gathering the most points for the weekend. But I think the 9, I think Corey Peabody will win the final race, so he'll get the trophy. I think those 2 boats usually are the 2 fastest. Peabody had bad testing in Tri-Cities, but he has won it before, I think 2 years ago when the Gold Cup was there. Gold Cup, if you didn't know, is the oldest motorsport trophy in the world. So anyone that comes after me about NASCAR or any other sport, you're wrong. We do have the oldest trophy that is active still. But it should be fun. I'm excited. It kind of gets me going. You can watch it on YouTube. It's on the H1 YouTube page. You can live stream it if you want to give it a try. It doesn't hurt. They love viewers, and then you can ask questions. Brad Luce is the announcer, and he loves to answer questions. He is got so much knowledge about the sport and the history of the sport. So if you do have a chance, feel free just to log in. You look at it. It's called H1 Unlimited.
It's on Thursday, right?
It starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they'll have the schedule all posted. Like I said, if you look at what Sam was talking about a little bit ago, if I go back.
It's like the first thing if you Google it that comes up.
Yeah, so. And you can just find it. So the Hydrofest opens. Oh, they only have this for the Saturday and Sunday list. They don't have Friday's qualifications, or maybe they don't have qualifications on. They don't. That's interesting. So there will be testing on Friday. They'll do qualifying Saturday, which is kind of different. Some places do qualifying on Fridays. Mm-hmm. But it looks like they're going to do qualifying from 8 to 10 in the morning East Coast time. So yeah, really early in the morning here. Yeah. I love the sport, but I probably won't wake up at 5 o'clock to watch it. I think I'm actually camping that day anyway. And then you have like opening ceremonies. You can see the vintage boats come out at 10. Those are kind of fun to watch. They usually go a lot slower because they are very dangerous, so they kind of keep it easy. But anyway, it should be fun. There's lots of races. There's going to be different things going on all day. They don't really show everything. They typically just show the races. So you'll miss like the air show and stuff unless you want to go. So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully you are too. Cool. Yeah, I'm ready for it to happen.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see how it all shakes out. Dustin Eccles better win.
That would be an interesting one. I mean, the 27, it'll be interesting to see what he does, just because again, that boat hasn't touched. So the last time it touched the water is after its flip, and it's been about 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Since that boat's been on the water, so they've been just hacking away at it, fixing it. They have, like I said, they probably have the best driver ever. They do have the best driver ever, whether you like him or not. but he's old, and it'll be interesting to see how he runs and what he does. But that boat is supposed to race there this weekend, but it could hit the water and have a leak somewhere and go, well, can't run. But the nice thing is they are out there in Alabama. They're from Alabama, so if they needed to, they could hypothetically drive home, grab something, and come back. But we don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that reminds me of when I obviously like baseball. That's kind of been my sport. But when Ichiro came back to the Mariners, it was kind of weird.
He's like 40 years old.
Yeah, he wasn't the same player, but he was getting all this attention. And I was like, why is he here?
Yeah, it was the same.
I feel like that's how this might be for fans that are really into it.
Yeah,
how they might feel. Because obviously Ichiro, great player, but
superstar.
When he came back, I was like,
yeah, I feel the same way with like when Junior did and some other people. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, I know a couple of the drivers have said to me personally that it's like not going to help grow the sport, not going to help us go forward. We need to get young guys in the sport that are going to, bring new faces to the sport that have other things. There's a guy like last year, Dylan Runny raced a boat. The sponsorship crashed because of political and economy and whatnot. It's a bank, so it's like it kind of fell apart with what's going on in the world. But so he lost his seat, and a lot of people thought maybe the 27 would pick him up. He was a good driver. It was his rookie year, but he was starting to figure it out towards the end of the year. And nope, they decided to go with the very, very old veteran in Dave Villwock. So it should be interesting. It should be fun. I hope you guys watch, or at least a couple people. If you have questions, please ask, because I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah. All right, so that's a little bit about hydroplanes. We'll continue to talk about that as the season progresses.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Kind of Athletic podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on all of our social medias, and we will see you next week.